It says I'm live, so I hope I am. Okay, here we go. Welcome, live from the crossroads of America. A talk show, shooting with disabilities. We haven't been doing much of that lately, unfortunately, so I do apologize. Talk about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses our mind. Answer questions from the audience. Put them in the chat or email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page and all that good stuff. It's listed all below. Give me a thumbs up or whatever. It all helps with the getting my word out there. So leave it up to you guys. I just want to say thank you for being here. Let me who we got in the chat here. Mystic Guns was first. Then we got Jason. Who else? Who else is in here? Kingpin's in here. Sabrina's here. Ohio 45. Raphael. Yep, they're all coming here now for right now. So 2 live moves here, by the looks of it. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. That's what I like to see. Let me introduce my panel real quick. I got from good old Illinois. We got Tony. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for the invite and all that.
No problem. Then we got the one and only Kingpin. How you doing?
Doing good, Rick. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Then we got the one and only Patriot in the Dark.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Thanks, Rick.
No problem. Okay, good to see you on this on this rainy Wednesday evening here in Southern Indiana. So, but the temperature's starting to rise now. We've been in the high 60s. We're meant to be getting the high 70s for the rest of the week. So, spring is here, I believe. I'm hoping. And I'm hoping to get down the range on Friday morning. We'll see. Oh, yeah. I got my bonus, my stimulus check on Monday. Well, actually, I got it Sunday night. Why it was deposited on a Sunday night. I think my bank gives it to me early. So Monday I got it, and I put a deposit on an Uberti 1875 Outlaw 7.5 inch and 45 Colt. Oh, nickel plated, fancy looking. Of course, with the coronavirus, they did I could have got it cheaper by buying it online, but I went to my local gun dealer, Dave's Gun Shop in Holland, Indiana, and they didn't have it in stock, but they were going to order it, but they said, unfortunately, it's been taking about a week to get anything from their distributor, which I was kind of bummed out about, but that's okay. Makes me feel better to hold on to the money a little bit longer, like I've done something right. So that's my new purchase. That gets me up to 10 guns that I own. So there we go. And I got another question for the guys in the chat here and on the panel. So I know it's got nothing to do with disabilities, but it could. Is it worth, since I got all this extra money, to me, I know I should save it for a rainy day. I've been hearing that for 63 years. But to me,
it is raining.
I know, but to me, it's money I never had. So to me, it's extra. It's if they didn't give it to me, I wouldn't miss it. But they got it to me. Why not spend it? I wouldn't be buying this stuff if I didn't have that money. You know what? I'm not going into my money.
Are you on a I don't want to call it fixed income, but you got a regular check that comes to you regularly, right? You don't have to worry about
Social Security disability every month.
My advice then would be blow that money.
That's
Screw
what
it, dude. Like you said before, you've lived long enough, you've saved enough, you got steady money coming in, so blow every penny of that money.
yeah,
Well, it's meant to stimulate the economy. So
that's
saving
right.
any of that shit.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, should I buy a timer, a shooting timer?
Why?
You know, one of the
Why?
little you see them on YouTube. There's some of those one of those little blue things, and they press a button, and it goes beep, and they draw, and they
I
shoot
know
and
what
stuff.
I know what they are.
Buy an
But
egg timer.
Yeah. Go to the dollar store.
are you aiming to get into fast shooting competitions like Michelek or what?
No, I don't know. I just thought I had it, so why not buy one?
I'll tell you, just take a quarter out of your pocket, flip it. When it hits the ground, draw. Count.
If they probably got that sound effect somewhere on YouTube, you can just play.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I was interested to see how fast it actually takes me to get my gun out. You know, being disabled is something to work on.
Don't they have the apps like that too? I mean, I don't know how
I don't know.
they are,
I don't know.
how they work, but
you can probably get a shot timer on phone.
yeah, I'm sure it might not be as fancy as what a standalone, but I'm sure it works at least to give you an idea.
I
Yeah.
tell you, man, if you get one of those, you're gonna be really disappointed.
Oh, the gun snob. Did you read that Kingpin in the chat? He wants you to sell his wife and all the money.
Well, see, let me address that the way it needs to be addressed. He said, "Can you tell my wife I should blow all my money also?" And she said, "Don't you dare say that." Now, when we're talking about the gun snob and spending money, he doesn't blow money. He wisely invests every single penny he ever spends. That guy is extremely frugal. He jokes around a lot about buying cameras at the pawn shop 3 or 4 times a week, but I'm telling you, that guy's going to spend that money the best way for the family. So I think that he should have free reign to do whatever he wants with that money.
Okay. Oh, the gun snob says you got the apps on your phone
No.
for that. There's free ones and there's ones that are less than $10. You pay for them. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going into competition. I was just curious, being disabled, how fast I actually am, and can I work on improving it?
I can answer that in 2 words. Not very.
Well, not very fast. No, I don't think I am either. So, so I was thinking about. I was looking at them this afternoon on eBay and Amazon and stuff. That little blue one you see them all using is about $137, $140. That's why I was asking. It seems, even though I got this $1,200 to blow, well, I've only got $600 now because that 1875 is costing me a little bit extra. I mean, with taxes and everything else, it's costing me, I think, $649.82 or something with taxes. So,
Best off to invest that extra dough in reloading stuff so you can shoot the guns you got.
yes, I gotta get me some. Now I gotta get me some dies for the 45 Colt. That's my next thing. So
You got
when
anything that takes
I pick the gun up, I'll buy about 100. A couple of boxes give me about 100 rounds that give me the brass to start with. To somebody out there has got tons of 45 Colt and they don't want it, and they can send it to me.
Do you have anything that takes large pistol primers? Because that 45 Colt does.
It takes what?
Large pistol primers.
Well, yeah, my 45 ACPs.
I didn't know if they did or not.
Yeah, they did. Oh, I still got a box of 1,000 in one of these green tubs of large primers.
I got some 45 long Colt snap caps for you too.
Oh, all right. So, what I am or what I have ordered is the from iTargets, that white box behind me that I've had for 3 years. I think I was the first one on gun channels to buy that, and everybody looks at me like I'm dumb. But now I see it's the in thing right now. But anyway, I'm the only I want to buy one of their little lasers to go in my 380 because for I can practice. I aim at stuff, but I like to see if I'm what's the word for it? Flinching or whatever and stuff like that. And I'm a pretty good shot anyway, but I just like to impress myself, you know. So I've ordered a 380 one for my one of those. Mind you, they weren't cheap. You can buy cheap ones, but they're about I think they're around $50 for my target, just for the bullet, the laser bullet, you know. But I do have the whole setup. I mean, I haven't used it in a long time, but that's got a thing you put your cell phone on, and you open the app, and it's got a target, and you shoot at it, and somehow the app picks it up, and it shows a target. It makes a noise of you hitting it and stuff like that. And it's like a timer too. It keeps track of what you're doing. So there we go. Hey, is that John Z's in the room? All right. Okay. So that was my main topic. I mean, that was my main things. What I've done so far is I'm hoping that go get my thing out, that my wrist can handle that 45 Colt.
It ain't much.
You know, that's why I had to drop down from the 45 ACP, because my wrist couldn't take it anymore. You know, but what I plan on doing, I plan on wearing my compression gloves when I'm shooting it. You know, because I mean they're fingerless. You know, so so I'm hoping that will help.
When you shoot your pistol, do you stand or do you stay in your sit on your bench and shoot from your bench?
I start off standing. Then when my back starts, hurting too much, I'll sit down in my seat I got with my, I got a table on. A table's hooked on the side and stuff like that. Yeah, but normally I start off standing.
Now, do you draw every time, or do you just, sit your weapon on like the counter and then reload and stuff like that, or do you holster and draw every time you send new rounds downrange?
I draw from the holster, but I mean, I try to do a pen. I try to say I'll draw from the holster, shoot maybe. I try to keep count maybe 5 rounds down range, then holster it, then pull it again and shoot another 5. That type of thing. That's when I was using my 45. But since my 380 only carries 8, I sort of like do 4 and 4 now.
Do you draw when you're sitting down too?
No. Well, I have, but I don't do it enough. That's what I need to practice on. You know. But normally what I do is I'll have the gun sitting on that little table, and I'll grab it and shoot. But I need to practice shooting sitting down, because hey, if I'm back on my scooter or I'm in my truck, I'm going to need to be able to pull it from the sitting position. So
with your scooter, does it have? It has like your armrest. Is
yeah,
them up next to you pretty tight, or?
Oh,
I don't know how they work. I mean,
mine are adjustable, so okay. I have them a little bit out. Plus, they raise up too, both of them.
Okay,
so
to the back,
out of the way if I have to. So, all right, who's joined us in the panel? We got Blind Shooter. Hey,
greetings.
Ain't seen you in a while.
Look at that guy. He is
greetings, Earthlings.
Yeah, and New York Outcast. How you doing?
I've been better. How's everybody going? Or doing today?
All right.
Good.
Hey, Rick,
Jason
as
Stewart
far
said,
as-
if I get $1,200, I'll buy food for hungry children. I don't need a new gun toy. Good for you, Jason. But I'm not that, how can I put it? I'm not that kind hearted.
as
It's
far
all
as the
about me.
recoil on that 1875, it's mild.
All right. John Z says, buy gold. Now, we've had this discussion before, John. Gold is only worth anything if we still have an economy. If the world economy absolutely collapses and it's dog eat dog, gold ain't going to get you shit. I'm sorry. So
You can invest all your money in the prepaid credit cards and send them to me, and I'll hold on to them.
all right. So how are things going in New York in the epicenter?
It's
Blaine
going.
Jr. is closer to the epicenter than you are, isn't he?
Yes, I am.
Probably, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're actually in the city, right?
Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. So have you heard from your local government since 2A lost the case or they got muted? Are they putting the law back into effect?
Well, right now the law still stands as is that we can take the guns out of New York City, go to any gun range, but it's from home to gun range to home, no unnecessary deviation. So even if you're driving home or to the range and you got to take a piss, you better wet your pants or bring a bottle with you.
All right. So there you go. From somebody out of New York City himself.
I'm glad you're back.
Yeah. Where you been hiding anyway?
I've been working 16 hours a day.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Been doing first responder stuff, huh?
Kind of, sort of, but also Patriot kept sending me hate mail threatening to kill me if I showed up. So
Did you get any of that Italian food?
that you sent me, no, any food you sent me, I throw out.
No, I meant your. You
Oh,
smelled
you're talking
it in
about
the
my
hall.
Facebook posting? Well,
Yeah.
no, my tenants are assholes. They don't give me food.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm being told because I'm assuming that I think, don't you have an 1875, Tony?
I got a pair of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the disabled person who has arthritis, it shouldn't be too uncomfortable for me to shoot it. The only reason I want it is because it's a single action. I've always wanted one to wind down the range. I can pretend I'm a cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
That 45 Colt round is really low pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, as you were saying the other day, reloading, I've got hundreds and hundreds of 45 ACP bullets here. Which you said I could use those for 45 Colt, right?
Yep.
They're 230 grain, 4.452, 230 grain round nose.
Yeah, I think my molds are both 452. So yeah.
Yeah. So all I need is to get some dyes, and I gotta get some powder because the two powders I have, I think, burn too fast for it or whatever. I was reading somewhere I need to get some of the powder. No. That's about it. So any of you guys got any new guns? I know Tony
Patriot's going to send them to us.
Tony bought a Smith & Wesson 29. So
Yeah, I also bought a Marlin Model 60.
oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So
Well, everybody should know about 29 by now. It's been a couple weeks.
well, you never know. So yeah, did you hear what I'm spending my $1,200 on New York?
Hookers?
No.
I'm buying. Well, it's not $1,200. It's about $600. Buying a Uberti 1875 Outlaw single action. Colt 45. Or 45 Colt, I should say. So, nickel plated. So, along with my gold 380 and a nickel plated single action, I am going to be pimping in style.
Do you drive a Cadillac, Rick?
No.
Cowboy Cadillac.
I'm just checking.
Yeah. I should, though. Oh, here we go. Ohio 45. You need an AR-15. Well, guys, I'm not. I don't know how to say this, but I don't want one. I mean,
Here's how you say it. I don't fucking like AR-15.
I've got that 22 that looks like one. I'm not going to sell it. I love using that gun when I take it, but it does not. The AR platform does nothing for me. It actually does nothing for me. I can't see the point. Why should I spend money on a gun that if I do buy it, it will sit in the gun safe and just sit there? Because I doubt I would shoot it that much. Because that's why I don't shoot that 22 that much, because it doesn't really use me. Just to buy one just to say I have it.
And why would you start into getting guns where for everything you want to do with a gun, you have to have a different one when you have ARs?
My local shop's got a gold-plated AK that would go with your 380.
Ohio says unsubscribe, thumbs down. No, I'm sorry. I mean, I've said this before. The AR, I keep trying to talk myself into one, and everybody tries to talk me. But I look at them, when I go down to the gun store and I look at them online. I don't know. It just doesn't. I guess I'm a FUD. Is that the word? I'm not FUD in the sense of a FUD, but I like guns, long guns, rifles that got wood on them.
You're old.
So
we come from the day when guns were made out of wood and steel. None of that plastic crap.
And I know you can buy wood for AR-15s and stuff, but it's still an AR-15. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get pressure into it, Rick. People got different reasons for buying guns, so I think it's a great all around gun, but for your needs, I mean, you may not really have a use. So I mean, if everybody wants to pull together and buy Rick a gun, so be it. I'm sure he'll take one, but.
Oh yeah. Ohio says, "How about a brown Bess?"
Yeah, you shot ARs before, right? Like you shot ARs before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shot him when I was in. I haven't shot one since I've been in Indiana, but I shot one up. I shot a couple up in Rhode Island when I was at the indoor range.
And as far as brown Bess goes, it is more attractive than any AR.
Yeah. Rick is a coach gun kind of guy. Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't think my shoulder can handle a coach gun either anymore. I mean, I've got a 12 gauge pump shotgun. I rarely ever shoot it now because, I can sit there and I can shoot it while I'm out at the range or out whatever I'm doing. But that night and the following day, oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah. A lever action gun is what I'm going to get next. If I'm going to get a rifle, it's going to be a lever action. I've got to finish paying off my cousin for my 22 lever action I bought off him last year. I still haven't finished paying for him yet. He still hasn't given it to me till I pay him. Distrusting bastard. But there you go.
That's family, man.
But then again, you can't blame him. Look, I bought it off him last year, and I haven't made a payment on it in a year.
If that thing's a Winchester 9422, you best latch onto it.
I've forgotten what I think it is, isn't it? I'm trying to remember what it was now. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, I got it for a good price with a scope on it and everything. So I will. I'll use some of this money to finish paying him off for it. I owe him about $150 left on it. I think I got it. I got it for $300. So I paid him half. I got to just pay off the other half.
I think that's worth more than a shot timer.
By far.
You were looking at that blue one for.
Yeah.
They were running $1,500 for a used one at Wanamaker.
That dude will be your family for the rest of your all's lives. That egg timer might not be in stock tomorrow.
True. You're right. But I said I'll look into finding one on my phone. See what I can come up with. You know.
Buy that timer. The first time you use it's going to say, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
Do this with a sundial, buddy.
Yeah. All right. You guys got anything you want to talk about? Patriot? Anything that is happening in your world?
I'm just weighing the options of finishing my basement or a lever action 357.
Go for the lever action 357.
But if I do the basement, that's going to be a new gun room because there's no windows. So
Can you make it a gun range instead?
I've threatened, but no.
It'll hold guns now.
I'm sorry?
It'll hold guns now.
Yeah.
Are you planning on staying there for the rest of your life, or do you plan on moving? Like, what's your plans on that?
Well, it was new in 2007. That's when I bought it, and there was nobody around me. Now there's like 8 houses that came up, and they're all twice the house of mine. And so for me to sell mine, if I chose to do that, you know, I got to kind of spruce some things up in the basement and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I might stay here, but it just depends on how much I can upset the neighbors. If I keep upsetting them, I'll stay. But
you start shooting in your basement, that'll piss them off.
Exactly. There we go. Turn the basement into a gun range. You'll piss everybody off.
You know,
so it was nice before everybody moved in. It was just a big field, so I you know.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, all you're doing is putting up what you call it, right? Make it look like it has real walls.
No, it's going to be real walls. Yeah.
Well, what's the word I'm looking for? What are you trying to do?
Oh yeah, I was just going to box it and do a storage area to because it's all poured walls. It's
just
all
paint
nice
it.
in there.
Just paint the brick. Just slap some whitewash on the brick. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You normally can't do a range inside.
But see, I'm a blind guy, so if I paint the walls and then people go, "Oh, well, he's just a blind guy," that's okay. I don't want to do that. I gotta have it look nice. So I can have some hidden walls.
Come over and do it, isn't he?
I think he's still stuck at the border in Maryland. They won't let him through.
Yeah, they let me through Maryland's border, but then they snatched me into the next border. So I'm inching my way there, man. Did you get the package yet?
No. The car in the wood? No.
Jeez, man. I'm gonna have to call Amazon.
If you're gonna paint the basement, you can always have Squib come over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, you and Squib can get together on that. Let him do most of the work, you know, and you can supervise.
Just make sure you videotape it because that's going to be one hell of a YouTube video.
Yeah. But you can buy paint in Michigan now, can't you?
After the 1st of May, I guess they've. I don't know. I don't pay attention to her because she's nuts. But yeah, they've extended our lockdown until the 15th of May, but they've relaxed some things, but not on others. And I don't. Make sure you look at your local government website to find out because I don't listen to it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So on another note, real quick, while we're got here, we're going way off topic here, but did you see that? You remember when we lost Hangouts and they started charging to use what they call Meet, was similar to Hangouts, but you had to buy G Suite or something from Google. I guess they didn't get many takers because now they're offering Meet for free now. So I was wondering if it's going to be as easy to use as Hangouts was. Go back to using it. I don't know. So just thought I'll throw that out to you guys to think about. You know, so they're going to start releasing, start letting people signing up for the free version next week. Yeah, I'm going to sign up for it just to make sure, just to say it's another thing to have if this goes down or whatever. You know, it's something else to use if I have to in a pinch. So, okay, right, you guys got what's happening in New York there, Blind Shooter? Anything
in terms of what?
Well, you know. Guns, job, whatever.
Well, guns, I think you pretty much know what happened. The Supreme Court sucks balls. And in terms of coronavirus, we're slowly but surely getting back online.
Good. Okay, what do you think? Here's one for you. With the New York thing, it was a 6-3 vote. Right? And Kavanaugh went with the majority to call it mute. I mean, does that make him a bad pick?
Look,
New York Outcast, do you want to take it?
They changed the damn unconstitutional part of the law that they were complaining about. Now, the whole thing is, as far as I'm concerned, but, you know, when they changed that, then the reason they were going before the Supreme Court went away.
From my knowledge, it was kind of like kind of seemed like a scam. They put it up, the court accepted it, and then they went right back and changed the law once it was accepted or going to be heard. And now supposedly they made a law so it can't be changed, which to me doesn't. I don't know how that's going to work, because I'm sure if they could make the law, they could change the law. But so I was under the impression that they were clear in New York to transport or whatever at this point. So hearing Blind Shooter say they weren't is kind of shocking, because basically from what I've read, they stated that they pulled back because of some mute issue now. But I, would bet if it would just be a matter of time before they do it again. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't trust anybody here in New York State when it comes to, the politics and stuff. So I don't know. I don't pay, honestly, it's sad, but I don't pay too much attention to it until around voting time. Everybody here, there's not a lot to choose from usually. So, and I never vote for Cuomo, but yet Cuomo always gets it, and things like that. So it's kind of, a weird thing, I guess. So,
it's kind of like you can bring the gun out of state. The only thing is, if you get pulled over by the police and they ask you, hey, let's say you get pulled over in a Walmart parking lot, they're going to question, why do you have the gun on you, if you give them probable cause to search the vehicle.
I think it's crap, because you probably go through a pretty strict. New York is strict as it is, like one of the strictest, if not the strictest. So I assume the city's got to be pretty close, or at least within the state guidelines. So I would be shocked that you would be in another part of the state or something, and they give an outside of the city officer gave you crap about it in a sense, because
Well, before it all took a
probably similar. I know they don't honor or whatever, but they should. And you would think the average guy would know that and not harass you, but I know that's not how it works sometimes. So
Well, yeah, like before all this started, okay, for those who don't know New York, New York State, New York City are two separate entities in itself.
Yeah.
So in New York City, we have 5 counties: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, and Staten Island County. If you had a gun licensed for those 5 counties, you could only transport it in those areas. You couldn't go to another county in New York State. So now with the new law, you can go anywhere in New York State, and you can go out of state, let's say the neighboring state like New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. You can go wherever you like. You just can't make an unnecessary deviation to a grocery store, a pharmacy, your girlfriend's house.
Yeah, you have to go straight there and straight back. You can't stop on the way.
Exactly.
Maryland's got the same law. It's ultimately it's just an extra snag. They're not going to pull you over and search you or ask you if you got a gun. They're going to pull you over for speeding or having a tail light out or you know whatever stupid reason they make up. And then while they've got you pulled over, if they can't get away with it smells like weed in here, then they're going to find some other reason to search you. And when they find you, it's just an added charge. Uh, in Maryland, you can get what's called collector status, which allows you to do a couple other things, but it also allows you to basically take your guns anywhere you want. You can't carry, but like if I wanted to put my gun in the trunk and take it to work and go to my parents' house and go to Walmart, I can do all that.
Okay. Yeah. Now, real quick, we went off topic there because what I was asking about was the judge, Kavanaugh. I mean, he sided with the mute that wasn't worth listening to because it's mute. Should he have been on the side of the 3 who said they should have listened to it?
I'd like been. It would be great. I almost see it as a crime that they haven't taken more cases like this up. So,
well, he did say, Kavanaugh did say that the court should take up a 2A case soon.
saying and doing though are two different things.
Yeah. Now we were discussing this before we went on. I think on air. Let's call it. They're meant to be They're meant to be listening to 10 2A cases on Friday. Decide which ones they're going to look at, which ones they're going to pick up, if they pick up any of them.
Supreme Court justices are just regular people, basically. And Brett Kavanaugh, I wasn't thrilled with him being the pick anyway. I don't think that he's all of a sudden, anti-Second Amendment, anti-Constitution, and I don't think he's the hero that some people thought he was going to be. He is an egghead, and all he does is read what other judges have said. He doesn't have any independent thought of his own that way. I'm not smashing the guy. I'm just like the way he works. He's a precedent guy, and he's a what's on the paper type of guy. And the fact that New York backed off and removed the law was enough for him to say, since there's no law there, we don't have a case. Should he have said, no, we know you're tricky and we're going to see this anyway? Yeah, that would have been fantastic.
But they still don't before, so they still wouldn't have gone through anyway.
Yeah, but it would have definitely helped his reputation, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking of, his reputation. Well,
Would you appreciate it if the other side? Would you appreciate it if Ginsburg did something like that?
Do what?
Would you appreciate it if Ginsburg did something like that?
Well, said yes, we should listen to it?
If
I don't know.
She had said yes to some law that was a liberal left law, and she said, no, we shouldn't listen to it or whatever. If it was from the other side.
I'd like for the judges to be impartial and do what they're supposed to do. So if Ginsburg decides to do something right, then I'm definitely be cool with that. But it's pretty often she doesn't.
I'm not talking about doing something right. I'm talking about doing something completely from the wrong side.
Well, that's what I consider. Everything on her side is wrong. So,
yeah.
But no, I get your point. If she went against her side, then is if it was wrong and she should have sided with them, then that's not cool. I want the Supreme Court justices to be that blind, you know, deep thinking, constitutionalists like they're supposed to be. But unfortunately, they're all politicians.
Yeah, they're not impartial like they're meant to be.
Something
Unfortunately.
else to think about is that they have to be real careful about picking cases so they can pick cases that cover the broadest scope.
Yeah. Well, yes. See, and that's another thing that we've discussed this on the daytime show. When I was growing up, it was always told to me the way the justice system works in the United States of America, everyone can take their grievance to the Supreme Court of the United States. Well, if you fight through all the other courts, have the money, and you live long enough, you might get it up to the Supreme Court. Then if they say no, you're screwed. That's it.
Yeah.
So what I was told as a kid is a lie. They should say you have a chance to be heard in Supreme Court, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
You also have to take into consideration that. Oh, sorry, Rob. Go ahead, buddy.
No, it's no problem. I was just agreeing with Rick, saying that's the impression I was, taught, I guess, in school. So
Yeah. But I doubt they teach it anymore anyway. So I don't know.
probably skip that whole subject.
Yeah. It's all about turning America commie.
When I was in school, we had civics.
I don't think they do civics in American schools anymore. I really don't.
Well,
I've had no kids my kids are in their 30s, so they've been out of school for years. So you know what I'm saying? I haven't been nowhere near a school in goddamn years. I don't know what in the hell they're teaching. From what I can see of what's happening to the country and the world, they're not teaching them the right stuff. Jason Stewart. There is no justice, Rick. It's a trick to get foreigners to move here. Oh, yeah.
I don't see much good at my local schools. I can state that. A lot of kids in middle school with, stabbings and drugs and sex in the bathrooms. And obviously it gets worse stepping up in the high school, but bullying, suicide, it's pretty rough stuff. So, changed quite a bit than from when I was back in school. So, but I assume all schools aren't that way. So I know in these schools they just kind of give every kid a crutch, get them through and out the door. They don't, there's I think too many kids, not enough staff. They just don't pay much attention. As long as nobody doesn't kill each other or anything like that, and they get through the day, they seem to be happy here.
Raphael said kids are probably getting a better education now.
Could be, but unfortunately, a lot of the parents are just as bad as the kids in some sense, where they act like a juvenile. You're out of jail. If you look at them funny, they want to fight, or everything. They act like they're still in high school themselves. So
that's what I'm saying. I shouldn't say bred. We raised the kids of today are being raised by kids or adults. They're adults now, but who were raised in this system, so they don't know any different. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question.
God help the United States of America. That's all I got to say.
I got a question for you and Tony. When you guys were 12, what did you think an adult was? How old do you think when you became an adult? What age was that? When you were 12 years old and you were thinking, I can't wait till I'm this age so I can be my own man.
16.
Yes. 16 when I got my driving license.
All right, now let me ask, when you were 21, and you were looking forward to, when I'm this old, I'm going to be established and ready to move on with my life and blah blah blah. What age
No,
when you were 20?
I figured by the time I was 30, I was going to be all set. You know?
I never thought about it, to be honest with you.
Because you were already grown up at 16, so you didn't have to think about it. Now let me ask this question.
I was married with kids at 21.
I was married with kids at 23.
Let me ask this question for everybody in the panel and in the chat. Would you consider a 21-year-old an adult or a kid now? Not because we're older. I'm talking about like
Urban or rural?
What's that?
Urban or rural? I think urban, they would probably still classify as a kid. Rural, I would assume adult. You know, now legally they'd be an adult, but you know, mentally, I don't think they're there. And even
Well,
you know, mentally on a rural kid, I wouldn't say it's, you know, it's 100% guarantee every rural, but rural area kids tend to get a better work ethic, have more respect, deal with people in a way that they understand issues can come back to your house. Where city people don't give a crap. You know, they don't give a crap and they don't care. You know, they'll spit on the old lady next door and not care. Like, but it doesn't seem to be that way rural that I've seen. So
yeah. I mean, to me, if I look at a young kid today, you know, around 21, 22, I think they're a young kid. In my mind, I go, you know, young kid.
well, when do they start putting, you know, looking at, when do they prioritize things right? When are they more worried about paying rent and getting a new pair of Nikes or the new phone, or, you know, paying child support, doing what they're supposed to do? Some people never get to that point. So, you know, some people learn better than others. Some are just better people.
I think that's that's like kind of the core I was getting to is right now, 30-year-olds are kids. Now, if you go back to Rick at 12, if you saw a 30-year-old playing video games and hanging out with his buddies every night and goofing off, and you'd be like, "What's is that guy a bum? Does he not have a family? What's this problem?"
Oh
Now,
yeah,
a 30-year-old, you're expected to be living it up every night like you're 18 again.
yeah. What if
And
I?
I'm not saying
To me, if a 30-year-old today is playing games today, I think he needs to grow up. You know, there's even I've even seen in chats here on these chats here. I've seen 40-year-olds with their hats turned around this way, thinking they're really cool, going deuces, man. You know, God, fucking grow up for fuck's sake. You know,
and I'm not against people having fun, you know, but sometimes we have to sit back and wonder, how did Tony's day, a 16-year-old was a grown man, a 21-year-old was an established family man, and now 30-year-olds are kids.
Because doing stupid shit would get your ass beat but good when you was coming up.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if we misbehaved, I got the belt from my father. I didn't think I didn't feel I was abused. You know, so and I had a, you know, so today is not done that way.
I get it. Technology is well more advanced and life is tons easier. Like it's almost impossible not to survive, especially in America these days. So I get, you know, the ease of life. You could go a little bit older, maybe 18, you're grown up, 21, 25, you're fully established. But I think we got a lot of grown children now.
Yes. Yeah. I used to say, I mean, I don't do it anymore because I'm an old guy. I ain't done it for years. But I remember growing up when I was a young guy. It was when I talked to an adult, I always said yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You know, you don't get that today. You know,
Still do if it's somebody I don't know.
so yeah. Well, I don't. I don't.
We are.
But maybe I should. You know, but I remember doing it all the time. It just came natural. Say yes, sir. No, ma'am. You know, yes, ma'am. Whatever. When I was addressed by an adult, that's how I would answer, with a sir or a ma'am on the end.
One of the
You
biggest
know?
lessons I passed to my kids was being polite and having good manners doesn't cost you a damn thing, but it pays back huge in the end.
Yes, that's right. Manners and politeness doesn't cost you a damn penny. Not one damn penny.
You should be like a kid should be raised that way until you know until there's a reason not to. It just should be common courtesy. I mean, to this day, if I come across an old lady at the store that needs a hand grabbing something, I'll gladly help her or whatever. It's just normal common courtesy. I don't understand that to have respect for people like that. I don't get it. Until there's a reason not to, and then that's a whole nother story. But still, that's what's weird. I think that it's the values and whatnot that aren't necessarily instilled anymore. The cultures really kind of grabbed the younger kids and twisted things up, in my opinion. So it's getting harder and harder to see. What used to be crazy is considered almost normal now, and vice versa. I mean, especially with the black culture. I mean, people would be rolling in their graves, knowing people are running around calling each other nigger and women bitches, and like after everything that people fought for, and then your dirty underwear hanging out and shit like that. Sorry, it's just disgraceful for the people that stepped before you to do what they did, and now you want to run around acting like an idiot. So I probably should have left that out, but it just bugs. The culture is ridiculous, in my opinion.
A part of this, I believe, is the fact that we don't have as much face-to-face interaction as we used to, thanks to the internet.
There's no accountability. You got bad values or no values, like what's cool on TV or whatever these kids are into all this stuff. You couldn't run around acting like that years ago. Nobody with respect or values runs around acting like that nowadays. So it's just you got that and the whole that whole aspect of the shoot, I'm getting lost here. Sorry. I'm thinking too many things, and there's things I don't want to say, but I really do. But yeah, it's just
If back when in high school, if I'd ran around calling women bitches and hoes, somebody'd have been coming with the beating pretty quick.
Did you see that question for you, Kingpin? Muscle Dog Mafia. Kids today don't have worth ethic drilled into them. When I was you were told to work hard to get to a point that you didn't have to work. Nowadays, kids are protected from work. Yeah.
Reading Dead Horse's comment. Yeah. I agree that social media has allowed, and that's why I mentioned the technology. Video games back in the day, you could play for an hour and have finished the game. Video games now, you play for an hour and you still haven't even gotten started. The advancement is so far ahead, and then with the lure of popularity from social media, not a whole lot of people on social media are grumpy old men and they're youthful, young, hip, like you were saying. What up, yo? And I'm not a curmudgeon. I like people having fun. I like to cut up just as much as anybody. But when it comes down to when you got to take care of responsibilities, you got to take care of responsibilities.
Hey, I'm a grumpy old man. I'm damn happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an old grumpy old man too, but I said I like having fun, but it comes to a point where, as you said, you got to grow up. You got to behave, you got to be responsible. I was told to work hard. I was taught to work hard, and I tried to do that, and I tried to instill that in my kids. My kids, I think it turned out well because, that's what I tried to instill in them. Work hard, live the American dream. Not what it is today. So
think about this: the 26-year-olds can still be covered under their parents' insurance.
I know.
I mean, what is that? What I remember about being young and watching TV shows, it's the mom and dad on the TV show are always like, "Hey, I'm packing your bags, and the day you turn 18, you're hitting the bricks, buddy." That's what I always thought is when you grew up, you grew up and took care of yourself and did what was necessary. Not to say you can't have fun and live it up, but you can't be 45 years old living in your mom's basement, eating bags of candy and staying up till 3 in the morning playing Nintendo.
Nowadays,
there's
mom and dad pays for everything, or the kids screw up and this and that, and mom and dad cover it, or if they don't cover it, the government covers it. Everybody bails you out. You don't have to succeed. You know what I mean? It's basically what it seems to be going towards.
Oh yeah, I mean it's happened that way. I mean we talked about this before. It even goes down to sports. Everybody gets a trophy. When I was growing up, I got cut from the baseball team. Yes, you go home and cry for nobody sees you, but then you go out and you put your name back on the list in case somebody drops out or gets hurt and they need another player, and hopefully they call you up and say, "Come and play on this team." That's how I was brought up.
a part of how we got here is that I'm not going to do the things my parents did because I didn't like it.
Nope, I blame it all on the parents. All the parents' fault or lack thereof parents.
Well, yeah. I mean, because listening, I mean, you got a point to a certain degree. You got a point there because my father used to tell me certain stories about when he was a kid. Some of them I would raise my eyebrows out and say, "Yeah, right." But since I've been here in Indiana and talking to his brother and his sister, my aunt and uncle, listening to him, I mean, some of the stories he told me, he only told me the good parts of it. I mean, my father had a very rough childhood, i.e., in not being beat up and stuff, but, I had my grandfather, I mean, my grandfather was a drunk. He would get paid on Friday and he would not come home until he spent his whole paycheck and they had no money. So my dad had to go get a job so they could buy food for his brothers and sisters and shit. So it was all this hard, and they did walk to school. He had one pair of pants for school. That he had to change when he got home because he couldn't ruin them because they were his school pants. I mean, it was tough. But where I'm going with, so when I was growing up, I thought I mean, he was tough on me, but he wasn't as tough as his parents were on him. But he tried to make my life easier. And when I had kids, I didn't want them to grow up like I did. So we're our own worst enemy, really.
Right. But there's a change. There was a shift somewhere because I noticed that in my family where, my parents tried to give me a better life than they had and so on and so forth. That's like the whole point. But at some point in time, the generation from like my older brother down to everybody else figured I'm going to give my kids a better life than my parents gave them, but it's out of spite. It's not out of I appreciate how my parents did. They scraped and scrimped and worked hard to try to give me the best life they could, and I'm going to try to do better. It's I'm going to show my parents I'm better than them, and that's a problem. And then going back to what Rob was saying, culture. We sat back and allowed the culture to be destroyed, and they started when they went after Dad. When they successfully removed the father figure from America, that's when all this stuff started going downhill.
I think you got a good point there, Kingpin. I really do. Yeah, I think you're right.
Part of the reason why I'll still be a father to my daughters, even though they're in their mid to upper 30s. They're doing shit they shouldn't be. I got no problem with correcting that.
Exactly. And I think that's what they're doing now is they're promoting the same outcome without putting in the work to get that outcome. They just expect that outcome. My parents drove into me that the only way I'm going to get that outcome is it's on me. It's on nobody else. Nobody else's fault. If I fall on my face, I have to get up and I have to do what I have to do. And that's the same way my grandparents were. There was no, you're going to get this just because you're breathing. You have to do something for it. You have to work. You have to show that you're capable in your community. There's a whole bunch. Obviously, the community is no longer what it used to be, where you can't, if you do fall on your face and you do need help, your community is what's supposed to do that. Your family, then your community, and then, under some remote chance, join the Foreign Legion, because they'll always help you out. But it's definitely, there's a gap there where kids now, seem that, well, I'm going to do this. Well, how are you going to do it? Well, they got all their shortcuts or whatever, somebody gives it to them. So you got to force them to know how to get to that outcome.
And then it doesn't work, and the parents are like, "Oh, well, here's some more money." So that's what happens today.
We just had this discussion, me and my ex, about like my daughter, the things, she's in the teenage years, right? So the things that you buy now, like if you have to replace a bed, I'm buying it a very good bed, not because she deserves it. It's just that it's going to last her once I kick her out after she graduates, right? It's going to be something that she can take to an apartment or to wherever she moves to, and she's going to have something nice. She's going to have that nice thing so that she doesn't have to worry about that, so that she can focus on the things that she's got to make it on her own. She knows, she's in all the, the advanced placement classes, and she has to put in the work to get the stuff. It's not just going to be thrown at her.
When a society says it's okay for mom to be 15 and grandma to be 31, that's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. Hey, Dan, look at the time. Wow, it's flowing by. Oh, real quick, for my quiz for Saturday, mail. It's email only. Rick's Life as I See It at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. I think I've only got 2 entries right now, if that. What I wanted to know is a real easy question, because I was watching The Unforgiven on Saturday morning. What I want to know is make and model of the shotgun Clint Eastwood used, and the make and model of the rifle that Morgan Freeman used in the movie. And that's it. Email me at my normal address, Rick's Life as I See It at gmail.com. Get it into me by noontime Eastern time. And for the swag pack. So there you go. All right. So do we want to carry on, or do we want to run it down? Everybody, I mean, because what's called Stu running in, isn't he? Guns and Gadgets or Guns and Review, whatever is. I can never remember. I can never remember.
Either way,
That's it. Yeah, I like. Well, I normally I'll watch like during the day in the afternoon when I'm lounging back in my recliner. I normally watch his chat. Listen to it on a rerun type thing. Put it on the big screen TV. Sit there and listen to you guys.
Either way, I got to bail, guys. So y'all have a good one. And thanks to everybody that showed up.
You too. Thanks for coming by, Tony.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Have a good night, Tony.
Yeah. So anyway, Kingpin, you got any shout outs or plugs?
Yeah, Patriot actually sent me a pretty cool video, link to a video from a guy that goes by the channel name Guns and Barbecue. And I'm going to put the link out in the chat. He's only got a few subscribers and got a few videos out there. He does, obviously, guns and barbecue. And he's also a, I guess, disabled shooter, if that's the way to put it. He's got vision issues too. Seems like a pretty legit person, so go check out his channel. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and give him a sub. Let him know Patriot in the Dark sent you.
Okay, I lost my chat. Oh, damn. Where'd my chat go? Oh, there it went. I found it. All right. Anything from Patriot? Anything from you?
Just thanks to David. Just stay positive and stay active. So do your walking around in circles if you have to. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
How about you, New York? Any plugs or shout outs?
No, just take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
All right. And no Jason Stewart out there. You see what his last line was? Great show, Rick. Stay safe. Oh God, that's great. Oh God, that's you're off my Christmas card list. I know there's nothing wrong with it. For some reason, as I said on Saturday, that just hits me the wrong way. I don't know why, it just does. So I want to say thank you all for stopping by on this Wednesday evening. It was just sort of like a rambling chat tonight. Sorry about that. But if you guys got any questions, you can always email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com for I can bring up to the panel here. You know, if you got any questions about shooting with disabilities or any questions that you want to ask us. I'm looking. I haven't chased it up, but I'm going to. Tomorrow I'm going to try to email these couple of guys that I was speaking to last month who do stuff for disabled people and see if I can get them on as guests. So that's what I'm working on. I'm not sure it's always it's going to work, but I'll give it a try. So I want to say thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern for my for Rick's Life as I see it. So I want to say good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye, Sabrina.